circa 50 Minuten später. Grund dafür ist eine
Guten Morgen everybody, we are in Heidelberg today. So we took the train from Frankfurt. We actually missed our connection in Mannheim due to the Frankfurt train being late, but we got on a different one and we're finally here. So today's mission is to explore Heidelberg and to see what there is to see. So I have never ever been here before, but my husband used to live here for a couple of months, so I'm gonna just rely on him for where to go, what to see, what to do. The first mission of the day is to climb to the castle, which is probably the most famous thing in Heidelberg. So it is a lot of uphill. I've been warned already. My shoes from yesterday were already starting to hurt, so I'm going with boots today. So we'll see how this works. They're super comfy, but I'm not sure I'm prepared for all this uphill. It's been a long time since I've done this much. Probably like the Malaga castle was the last time we've done quite this much walking. But I opted for contacts so I could at least save my eyes today with sunglasses. And we'll see how this goes. So many stairs. This is the Heidelberg Castle from the outside. We're about to go inside. The oldest parts of this castle were built in the beginning of the 13th century, and it was in use up until its destruction in 1689 by the French. And you can see obviously that it's falling apart just a little bit in some places. But apparently every summer at the end of July, they do a big celebration basically commemorating the day it was destroyed. And so apparently there are fireworks, and they sort of, what did you say, they replicate what it would look like burning or something. And it's like just a big commemoration celebration about the day it was destroyed. So apparently that's quite cool, and unfortunately I don't get to see it. We are about to see the großes Fass, which is the largest barrel ever to be filled with wine. Heidelberg apparently used to store a ton of wine in its cellars, and now they have this barrel which is not functioning anymore, as well as a ton of other gigantic barrels of wine, some of which are still in use. So you think it's this one, right? But actually it's bigger. This was built in 1751. I have no idea when they stopped using it for wine, but apparently it's not in use anymore, which is kind of a bummer because that would be a party. Right now I'm standing right on top of the barrel. It's somewhere beneath me. For a bit of perspective, this person right here, that's my husband. He's about 6 feet tall. We will be precisely there at some point this afternoon. We just looked it up, and apparently the fireworks, the big celebration that I talked about, the commemoration, is tomorrow. So we literally missed it by a day. So we stopped for lunch, and instead of going traditionally German, we found this cute little vegan restaurant. So I'm actually really excited. We just got our food and it looks amazing. So it's called Your Green Love, and it's in sort of the city center area of Heidelberg. This is all for some temporary exhibit, which is kind of a shame because it's really pretty here. I got a red veggie burger, which looks fantastic, and then comes the salad, and then we got a wrap. Steepest hill I think I might have ever climbed. We are currently walking the Philosophenweg, which is the Philosopher's Walk. It's historically where a lot of philosophers and poets and great thinkers, basically, of Heidelberg used to walk and discuss and talk. And apparently they took some sort of pleasure in this steep hill. But it's very scenic and very pretty and quiet. So we have the option between this one or that one up there. They basically go to the same spot, it's just this one's much flatter, so guess which one I picked. It is absolutely quiet and empty. We're the only people I can see right now. There are other people on the walk, but there's just so many places you can walk, and you can't really hear the city at all from here. It's amazing. Okay, like an hour and a half later, we have made it to the tower. I'm gonna be honest, seeing it from afar, it seemed really big and grand and wonderful, and seeing it here, I'm like, that's what I walked all of that for? And yet further up the hill, because apparently we hadn't had enough walking yet, we found the remnants of an old church, which is pretty amazing. The tower is not just a standalone, it was right next to where an old monastery used to be, and here up a little further there's an old church, so there's actually a lot more history to this part of Heidelberg than I realized. There are so many bugs buzzing around my face. Okay, so we have been walking for how long now? We left lunch from the vegan place, which was very, very good, by the way. I think I forgot to mention that, but it was super good. We left at about 1:45. We've been non-stop walking since. It's a little after 4 now. So we went from there, we crossed the river, we crossed the whole other side of the city, we climbed up the gigantic hill. Do you call this a hill, or I call it a mountain right now? It's after 4 now. And now we have the descent to make. So we probably have at least another hour of walking. And I think by then we will have well-deserved a beer or two. Remember that part from earlier in the vlog when I chose that path to walk down? coming down that one about 3 hours later. Yeah, that was a good walk. We still have probably half an hour, 45 minutes to get back across the city center. But I think the majority of the difficult stuff is behind us. We are now in Mannheim doing our connection back to Frankfurt for the evening. We had a really, really good time in Heidelberg. I absolutely love the city. I expected it to be pretty, I expected to like it, but it just sort of enchanted me in general, and I got so many pictures. I'm half looking forward to going through them and half kind of dreading it because I know I'm gonna have so many pictures. So we finished out the day by finishing the long hike down. I don't even know, how many steps did we do? I checked my Apple calculation, not really sure how accurate it is, but let me see if I can find it. So this is what Apple tells me I have walked today. That's a lot. It's almost 32,000 steps, 76 floors, the equivalent, and 13.3 miles. So that's a lot of walking. I'm very, very tired. I know it's not entirely accurate, and my phone was in my bag, so I don't really know how that worked. But anyway, just to give you a general idea, we walked a lot. I'm in a lot of pain. We're both in a lot of pain. Anyway, so after we finished that out, we met up with a friend and we ended up going to a bar and just having a drink or two and some Flammkuchen. I had Flammkuchen for the very first time. Just kind of like pizza, but the crust is very thin and kind of crackly. It's very, very good, and they had some vegetarian options for that. And I also tried, I was gonna get a beer, but I tried, I don't know if it's traditional German or just very common in Germany, but it's called Hugo. It's basically Prosecco, and it had some mint. It was a bit like a mojito, but a little bit different. It was really, really good and very refreshing, so I think I kind of merited that after the long walk. But yeah, we are very wiped, so we got our connection back to Mannheim. We had about half an hour, so we walked a little bit around Mannheim. So I guess this sort of counts as another German city. By the end of this trip, I will have visited 4 German cities because tomorrow is not a day in Frankfurt. We are going to Wilsberg, trying to say it like German, Würzburg, to visit, to see a couple really good friends who I haven't seen actually in a very long time. And yeah, just another day of enjoying Germany. So by the end of this trip, I will have visited 4 German cities. Not too bad. Anyway, we are just gonna catch our train home. I gotta change into glasses. I'm so tired. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow.